Okay, there goes our AC.
Hi, Charlie.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Chris Angel, Mind Freak.
Let's just start simply. Alex, thank you so much for coming and doing a podcast, another episode of Inside the Artist Studio. You're one of the very first people I asked to collaborate with me on this project. And here we are just a little bit of time later, and we're doing it. So this is super cool. I'm really happy you're here in the studio with us. This is amazing.
I'm really excited to be here. I really appreciate you. Same thing. I was thinking about this earlier today. I remember us talking about it like last year, and now that we're actually like sitting here, it feels cool to be here.
Yeah.
The studio's dope.
So, just for some perspective for you, normally I start my show with like a thorough intro and a little bit of research I've done.
Okay.
You are a bit of a man of a mystery, however.
Bit of a man of mystery.
Your social media presence is curated well and selective, but yet you remain like secretly ambitious in lots of ways. So that's why you're such an amazing enigma of a character.
I appreciate that. I guess.
So quickly, if you could, just for the people listening, just like two things about yourself: what you are, what you do, why you do it, how come.
Okay. Okay. Cool. My name is. You asked for my name.
Yeah, you can give your
cool.
name.
My name is Alex Flowar.
Mm-hmm.
I cut hair, and that's that. I cut hair just so I can kind of like bullshit with my friends and have some cocktails and just kind of, enjoy some camaraderie and kind of just like stuff like this. This is like what I like, just kind of like, chilling and talking to people, and that's that.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, let me preface for the audience then. Alex does not just cut hair. He is...
I do shaves, too.
He does shaves, too. He'll give you a hot shave, hot bath, towel job. But,
and a hot bath. I'll draw you a nice hot bath.
But, I mean, you are I would describe you as a master barber. You're a business owner. You're proficient at your craft. I mean, you've been doing this for mostly near 10 years?
About 7 years.
About 7 years.
About 7 years. So.
You're a very young man for as far as things go, as far as successful entrepreneurs go.
I appreciate that.
So that's righteous in its own right. And I think maybe the reason, like broadly speaking, that you're a curious or interesting person is that you have not followed any sort of a traditional path. Okay. As far as other young men in their 20s, like you have forged your own path, which is rare and unique and super special in this world. And that's why you're here.
Jeez, man,
in the artist studio.
Don't be making me blush on the artist studio, man. I just got here.
No, blush all the way. That's why I have you. But that's why well, you're also like a very like a thoughtful individual. Like that just come through in conversation. I suppose that's something you probably experience in your like client service speech of the day. Like you connect with people well.
I think most people think of me as an asshole. That's,
yeah.
But if people don't think I'm an asshole, then I'm cool to just
be yourself a bit. Yeah.
If you think I'm an asshole, I'll still try to talk to you. But
that's important. Yeah, I share a similar sentiment.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it comes apart with like just being a little bit antisocial in a very social world that we live in. But
Yeah. But you've got big hopes and big dreams, which is super cool. So traditionally with the format of this podcast, I like to just like kind of dig deep right away. So
okay. Dig as deep as you can get.
Yeah, the idea of the whole format of this
deeper, Charlie.
You asked me off mic like what I want from the podcast, and what I desire most from the podcast is for a very long time in my life I really didn't have much of a voice. I was very like bashful and shy. So to curate a list of like intentional conversations with other artists and creative entrepreneurs and people that are just making their own way, like I feel like it's important catalog for people to listen to and find perhaps. But also, if I'm going to preach this stuff to students of mine about art and like pursuing your dreams, then I should be doing it myself.
For sure.
that's kind of the philosophy behind it.
I like that. That's actually really cute.
Yeah, it is cute,
Just
right?
like that flannel.
Thank you. I put this on just before we started.
Yeah,
Just to dress
your
it up a
nipples
bit.
were getting a little hard. I'm glad you threw that on to keep warm.
Well, it's been warm here in Chicago.
True.
So take me through it, Alex.
Okay.
Where
are we going?
When were you born? Where were you born?
When was I born?
When were you born?
I was born on May 6th, 1994. That is the day after Cinco de Mayo, or Mayo. Is it? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
I'm only half Mexican. I'm not, so like I get a lot of stuff wrong about both my heritages, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born on May 6th in Blue Island, which is a south suburb of Chicago. I lived there for a little bit. I lived in a place. I kind of grew up, I'd say, in two places. I grew up was born in Blue Island, but I was born and raised, I guess, whatever. I'm tweaking right now. I'm sorry, man. You got me way too excited right now.
It's all good. Take a deep breath.
Okay. All right, I feel zen. I was born in Blue Island.
Good.
And after that, I had we had moved to Minooka, which is kind of South Illinois, but more of a
Yeah. What's his name? Mustache guy's from there.
mustache guy.
Parks and Rec.
Ron
Swanson's from Minooka.
No way.
Yes,
That's
yes.
mind blowing to me. Yeah, I was that's crazy, man. Because actually, when I was in Minooka and I was a kid, I won a contest and was a weatherman for a week on a radio station.
Oh my gosh.
I felt so cool. Like I was I had a little weather machine. I think I was in like first grade. I had to like go out there every day for a whole week. I won it at some like county fair.
Yeah.
The same day I won a hermit crab. I got hermit crab and weatherman in a week, man. So I peaked early as a kid. I peaked really early.
Shit, yeah.
We lived in a trailer park, and across the street was nothing but cornfields.
Yeah.
Which was different than the one in Blue Island because they're just two different areas. That was not surrounded by cornfields, mostly really good food.
Really good food. It's still pretty residential, city dense in Blue Island. Yeah.
But then after that, I had moved to another suburb called Evergreen Park, a little bit more north of Blue Island, or
north of both of those.
North of Minooka. Yeah, actually both. Yeah. Wow. I'm on one. So then I had lived there, and now I reside in good old Hinsdale.
Good old Hinsdale.
Hoodsdale, actually.
Hoodsdale,
yeah.
Right. So you've been all over the Chicagoland area most of your life.
Yeah, I've kind of experienced a couple different walkways. It's kind of fun. I think it's kind of helped me as a person and as a fellow human being, and just a barber on. You kind of see so many different walks of life. So, I feel like I can kind of see things on a little bit of every perspective, and keeps me humbled. You know what I mean?
Right. You've got good experience, or well-versed experience.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, that's what knowledge is. It's it's your experience.
Power.
But all right, cool. And when did you? Because you're from Palos Hills at some point.
I lived in Palos Hills for a brief period of time.
Where did you attend high school?
I went to Evergreen Park. Yeah,
Evergreen Park High School.
Palos Park or Palos. I can't remember now. Where did I live? Palos Hills? I lived in Palos Hills.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I would actually live right across the street from Moraine Valley, right over there at the community college. Shout out the
Cyclones.
The Cyclones. I was going to say the tornadoes. The Cyclones. Yeah. Oh, man. So I just got distracted trying to think of who sang that song. The one that was like a cyclone. Nah, Nah.
wish I knew.
Where's Google, dude?
Pull that one up. Were you into like artistic things in high school? Were you creative? Were you into music or like skateboarding or photography or anything?
Kinda, but I think on a much more like lower key level.
Like a teenager superficial kind of way?
Yeah, I mean, like more so like I didn't really like I did a lot in high school, but I also like I don't know. Like I just did a lot. I did geez, man, growing up like I never did anything at school when it came to like art or like I did do drama club for a little bit, I think in like middle school, and I tried in high school, and then they were like, nah. And I was like, all right, well I'm just going to stop doing that. I did do journalism. I did yearbook, and I did a newspaper. I also was the high school mascot for a couple events. I did cross country. I did track.
You were pretty involved in high school. Shit.
I did a lot.
Wow.
But I think it was kind of just came again from like that diversity. I had so many different different friends that I had talked to. I just kind of like seeing all different aspects of life. Yeah, but we just did I guess wherever the wind take me. I think I had like so many different friends and so many different friend groups, and like I definitely was trying to find myself, but I would say like I love to draw, love to do all that, but it really wasn't I don't think anything I took seriously. I never thought of cutting hair like at all. I think I was 22 when I decided to pick up a pair of clippers.
Why?
Oh damn, sorry, I had a client just text me. It'd be like that.
It's all right, you're doing work, do work.
Hey man, just always on the grind. Why did
you feel compelled, or what compelled you?
She had it's Baby Bash, by the way, I believe, featuring T-Pain. That's why I remember it.
How's it go? This production has a huge budget. We can afford whatever you play.
Let's she moves her body like a cyclone.
She moves her body like a cyclone.
And she makes me want to do it all night long.
She makes me want to do it all night
long.
Going
hard when they turn the spotlights on.
Damn.
Because she moves her body like a cyclone.
Oh, shoot.
Just like a cyclone.
Yeah. Is that not their fight song? I think that is their fight song. It's not. It should be.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. T-Pain, I heard he's doing pretty well for himself. I don't know, man. Yeah. Go Cyclones. My bad. So what were we? I get distracted very easily.
So like what? How do you? Okay. So we know that you obviously became a master barber, but like before that, like what were some of the other things you tried your hands at, as far as like a creative output or a creative money making device? Perhaps you.
Geez, man. Honestly, up until hair, all I just was like, just work.
Yeah, like just grind at other jobs.
All it was. Like, I mean, I was like, man, I think I started working. I think I started like thinking about work when I was like 10 years old, and was just like, I have to get a job.
You're like stressed.
Oh yeah, I was just over here like, yo, I got bills to pay. You know what? Honestly, we had a pretty kind of my mom wasn't home a crazy amount. My stepfather was kind of sick growing up, so my mom was always kind of working 3 jobs. So she was kind of never home. He was never really home, in and out of the hospital. It'd be me and my sister, just kind of like together. I think like I realized at a young age, like we didn't really have anything, and like whether my mom needed like some help with the bills or like I just needed money just to like make sure I could buy myself, making sure I was looking okay in high school, get myself some fresh gym shoes, and just make sure I was. I never wanted to be a bothersome about my parents. So like as soon as I was able to get a job, like I got a job. I want to say like a week or two after. What are you, 14, 15 when you can get a job,
15
whatever.
Or something.
It was like a week later. I was working. So I think that took up majority of my time. I didn't really think about like arts. Maybe I did prior to that point, but up until like I hit 15 was work. It was
Just
like,
the reality of life.
yeah, that was all it was. I don't think I actually picked up, like I said, I picked up a pair of clippers when I was like 22. I don't necessarily know why. I know I was in food at the time. I really wanted to open up a restaurant or a bar. I had my regular father was a kind of entrepreneur. He was he'd painted cars.
Oh, really?
Like
hot rods?
like details and stuff, like whatever.
Pinstriping?
I don't know exactly because he
Like airless, like whole ass? Metal flake air gun paint jobs?
yeah, like he would
Like
just
lowriders and shit?
man, I don't know. I mean, we were in Blue Island, so it was all, it could have been whatever.
Whoever's got money.
Yeah, right. So he did that. Also owned some bars and stuff. So I think like my regular dad, like had a little bit of like worked with his hands, but also like like I said, he owned a bar. He's a real estate agent now. My stepdad, growing up, he's passed now, but he owned a couple McDonald's restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, so I think like I knew I just always wanted like
so
I wanted to be that head honcho or like throw on like I don't know. I just wanted to do whatever. I just didn't.
Right.
I'm not really good with authority, I guess.
You got exposed to like business ownership pretty early in life.
Yeah.
So it seemed normal.
Yeah, I remember like being young and like being in like again as stupid as like in 4th grade. I remember being like in my stepdad's McDonald's.
Hell
right?
yeah, dude.
And it was a
Did you get hooked up?
No, actually, like
Which one was it? Was it in the neighborhood?
it was in 95th and Kedzie.
I don't know that I
maybe not
frequent-
95th. It might have been what is that? Yeah, it would have been 95th and Kedzie.
Yeah.
It was connected to a BP.
Okay.
I think he
play
had
place?
more than 2. I can't really remember, to be honest with you, but I think he had more than 2.
Okay.
There was no play place, but it was race car themed.
Hell yeah.
And it'd be for all you NASCAR fans out there, you nasty NASCAR fans. There was a driver in the 90s named Bill Elliott.
Okay.
He had drove the McDonald's car. He was the main sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, growing up, my stepdad had bought that car from that driver.
Like a replica or like one of the cars?
Like his car.
The race car.
The race car.
So
And we
your
had that
dad-
just in our garage. So every Saturday morning, man, I was young and I was so embarrassed that
He'd
this
fire that
motherfucker
up.
would just like, he was just out here just like fucking like
Yeah.
trying to get this car. It's waking up. You ever hear like those things are loud, dog? So like everyone just like this, yeah. It
the
was,
whole ass neighborhood.
Right. It was like 9 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm like, can you please turn it off? Like whatever. It was like we were in parades and shit.
Damn.
And then he had it in the McDonald's and stuff. Then he sold it. And then it was in our garage and stuff. But yeah, so like, that was crazy, man.
The heck?
But yeah. Other than that, I mean, again, like chilling at McDonald's and seeing them, him working and whatever. I don't think it really hit me there, and up until I was in my dad's bar. And I was like in, I don't know, like 7th, 8th grade, and like sitting behind the bar. Like, those like times you go
Yeah.
to like a really like hood, like
You're just
bar. And
yeah.
like all of a sudden you like look and there's like some like, I mean, now they have like an iPad or something, but like at like 10 years old and like I'm over here just like coloring like the bar. My dad's got like a Miller Lite or something like right next to me, or he's like, I remember I felt so excited when he would taught me how to stock the fridges.
Yo, Alex, come check this out.
Yeah, like
You gotta take the cold beers from the back.
dude, exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's where I learned, like, this is Miller Lite, this is
Yeah.
Bud Light, this is
Right.
Coors Light. And I'm over here like 8th grade, like, all right, cool. I gotta make sure they're separated. They're different.
Right.
And so I remember doing that, and just like my dad would like organize like bands and whatnot at the bar. He would, my dad was a pretty like big like metal guy and like kind of like
Promoting shows. And
yeah,
stuff.
whatever. So he would be promoting shows, and like I don't think I really noticed it at that time, like when I was young, but like just seeing all of that
Right.
at a young age kind of just like showed me like the opportunities that would be there for like
whatever.
You were able to like with that space, you're able to like put someone else on the map, kind of like what you do with your podcast or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're hosting someone, you're collaborating with someone, you're helping someone. Like what you know, you're working together with someone to accomplish something like that. Almost like in a haircut. You know, when I'm like, yo, Charlie baby, what you want?
Hey, I don't know if I ever told you this, but since I started getting my haircut from you, my happiness, my peak, my plateau happiness level has improved like 30%.
Oh, wow.
Like overall, I'm 30% happier as an individual since I started acquiring haircuts from you.
That's
so.
Should I start listening as like a marketing tactic? Should I say like, yo,
what do you mean?
30% of.
That's just my
average client comes in and their happiness goes 30%, yo.
Yeah. It's anecdotal, perhaps, but that's how I've measured it, or like I've observed it anyway.
For sure.
Perhaps the two things aren't correlated, but I feel like
I appreciate.
You know,
that.
when you're young and you're like
Did you kind of take that back in a way too?
What do you mean?
You were like, maybe they weren't correlated.
No, I think they were.
How are you going to give me a compliment and then take it back from me?
Well,
Charlie?
I'm skeptical, but I believe it. Like I believe it. It's true. Like, I mean, like. I don't know, you know, and like it's a silly thing, but like your clothes, your hair, what you wear, it's like it's your identity, and like it sounds weird to say, but like the haircuts you give me have been like become a part of my identity in a big way, where people compliment me more now than ever before in my life. Like,
nice,
and that brings me joy.
How did you feel when we shaved DZ in your head?
I was all about it. I loved it. That's another reason I enjoy going to you, like because as we've become better friends, and too, you're like, bro, can I fucking shave this shit in your head? And I'm just like, yeah, I love it. You know, like I love that you get to have some fun and I get to have some fun, and it just isn't like you're not just in the salt mines for a little bit. You know, you get to have some fun with your craft.
See, and I love you as like a client because like you're one of those guys that like I'm like, yo, you got this festival. Like,
yeah,
let's put this in your head. You're like, you know what? Let's go. Like you were just like game from the get-go. Like, it's not like, I mean, I don't like specialize in graphics.
No, you
like,
don't.
You know
but like,
I mean? Like,
you thought about it during the cut, and then
like, yeah.
You said the same thing before. Before I told you I was having this job interview, you're like, yo, bro, should we put the initials in your head? Like, I don't know about this time. Yeah.
We gotta wait till after you get the job.
Then now I'm all for it.
Winter break.
No, right now, let's fucking do it. We should just they would love it. The kids would love that shit.
We could put class of 23.
Yeah.
You're at a grammar school, middle school?
K through 8. So they have 8th grade graduation, but they just did it. But I like the idea for next year.
For sure.
I'll get my shit dyed like pink, fucking pink and purple. And
is that are those the school colors?
I have no idea what the school colors are. I was
going to say, that's like Grimace and a flamingo all in the same picture. Did you imagine that?
Yeah, but I want it to be loud and hot. Our mascot is a monarch butterfly, which is cool.
That's pretty fire, not going to lie. I don't know many that had that.
You know, it's actually really cool because I am a huge fan of the monarch. I learned so much about the monarch, and then I end up working at the school. Do you know they migrate from Oaxaca, Mexico? They fly here 2,000 plus miles from Mexico to the Midwest every year.
Wait, to here?
To here, of all places, the Midwest.
Wow.
They go further north into Canada, and they spread out to like Iowa and Ohio and stuff, but the Midwest, yeah.
That's probably because everyone else in the world is nuts. So they just go to the Midwest and they're like, you know what? These people are pretty middle ground. They're pretty chill.
Yeah, but it's just crazy.
We also have corn.
We got fuckloads of corn. Feed corn.
Yeah.
You know what's really crazy? My my mental geography map got like another link in it recently. My good friend Larry lives in Tolono, Illinois.
Okay.
And he lives right off of US 41.
Okay.
Which is LaGrange Road, but just 110 miles south.
That's crazy.
So the same bullshit trains that run by us, like they go out by him and they pick up all the corn and then they come up the track. It's a, Summit Corn Products. And they dump it off right there.
Dude, you should start sending him packages.
I thought about riding the train
from
like Summit or like, Hotchkins or whatever to Lono.
If you do, let me know because I'll tag along, man. I got nothing going on.
I'm a little scared, but it would be an interesting ride.
No, 100%.
You know.
I mean, you could just kind of.
I would have to
I
like.
always think of like Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. And then he's over here singing like the thing, and then someone like throws you out because they're just like, I've had it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But it's crazy. So like my mental geography map got tightened up from that, putting those two things together. The corn industry's fucked in the Midwest. Yeah.
What's the conspiracy?
I don't know if there's a conspiracy. The industrial corn complex. I don't know. You know, like
it's just complicated.
It's fuel for the world.
Yeah. No, you're not. I actually had a client that he lived in Illinois, and he was a seller of corn for China.
Oh, interesting.
He worked for the Chinese government. To buy corn from us or something like that. I don't even know exactly, but yeah, he was just here to buy corn for China, and it was wild because like I could never tell if like how do I say it? I wasn't sure if he was like was he like a spy or you know what I mean? Like what if he was over here just like in his haircut to be like, yo,
you know, this is where an engineer would be a good, because I've read an article recently that like China owns like 15-20% of the farmland in our country.
Oh, yeah, that would have been... I can't remember his name. I do know that he was fucking cool as fuck, so, like...
Yeah.
Which probably a spy would be that cool, right? Like, you would... I feel like if you met a spy, you wouldn't be like... Your hunch wouldn't be up, you know? Or it shouldn't be, because a spy's job is to be, like, blend in, so, like...
They gotta be
he
low-key.
would have wanted me to actually like him, you know what I mean?
It's in his favor to befriend you.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it was spying on me. Who knows?
What do you know about agriculture that I don't know, or they don't know?
Yeah, I mean, no, I probably because I lived in Minooka across from the cornfields.
Right, you've had.
So they're like, zero in on this dude. Find this guy.
Go get your haircut here.
Go get your haircut. Yeah, exactly.
Do some reconnaissance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that brings us to like, you know, most of your adolescence, but so then you started cutting hair at 22. When does it become like your sole sort of thing? When does it become your day in, day out day job?
Well, I was going to college. I was kind of just stuttering. I don't even know, man. I switched my major up so many times. I went to school for culinary. I went to school for business. I went to school for firefighting. I tried my hand at like everything. I was just like hoping something would stick, or I would just like eventually graduate or whatever.
Right.
It probably wasn't until I used to get free haircuts all the time when I was younger. When I was like kind of like post high school, because I was dating this chick, and she had she was a hairdresser, so like I just got free haircuts and stuff all the time. Before that, I got one haircut a year, maybe two. Two, man. It was like, you know, like I never cared. I went to a little Hispanic lady down the street, charged me $20, and like that was, you just walked in, thumbs up, thumbs down, and she'd be like, that was that. Up until I was dating this girl who was doing hair, that was kind of the first time I was ever kind of exposed to like this side of life or whatever. Long story short, I was in college trying to figure stuff out, and then me and her had broken up, and I was kind of like, oh no, what am I going to do, you know? So I had went to a couple different barbers, a couple different hairdressers, and it just never came out. I wanted it, you know. I'm looking for one thing, and no one could do it like right. I can't exactly remember. I've had so many different hairstyles, so I can't remember what I looked like at like the time or what I was really trying to go for, but no one could pick up what I was trying to at least say. So then I was kind of finally at the point where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this shit myself. And I was also like just a poor college student, so I was like, let's go. Went to wherever and got $20 clippers from, you know, Walmart. So I didn't cutting my own hair. At the time I would have been like 20 years old, whatever, 21, whatever. My friends were still like in college, about to graduate, and they having their life kind of little bit more mapped out than I had, and they would had heard I had started cutting hair, and I would start cutting their hair, and I kind of have. There's a point in that time period where I really, at that time, I knew I wanted to open up a business. I was working in restaurants, like I was managing restaurants. I knew like this is, I wanted to do something with this. And then it kind of hit me that I would get my own shop I would be my own boss basically a little bit faster with less capital if I had went the route of cutting hair. That way I could actually be working with my hands, talk to people, and also kind of be my own boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of was like, I'm done with college. This is, and dropped out and started barber school, and that was that.
Cool. And that was like early 20s.
That would have been early 20s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've watched your like trajectory change and grow in the few years we've known each other. Do you feel like on par? Are you happy with like how it's been working? Does it blow your mind ever to stop and think back and to where you're at now?
I mean, I think I've definitely like it comes and goes. I think that's just kind of a part of life, you know. That like, I don't think that like. I mean, everyone has 110 reasons to complain about their job, but you also have 110 reasons to like think great about the job. I think at the end of the day, I remember what it's like when I was trying to find someone to make me, do a good haircut or looking for what I was looking for, and I was unable to find it until I started doing my own, and now it's kind of like every person that comes in my chair, that's all I think about is like, I want them to feel their best. I want them to feel the most confident. It's also kind of like a meditation for me. You know what I mean? Like,
do you go into like a trance now?
100%. Oh my God, man. There's times where like, I love talking to people and love and I never want to come off as like a bad guy or an asshole or just like whatever, but like, I will zone out. I'm like, I'm not thinking of anything. That's just like, and that's probably whenever, and I can promise you wherever you go, your hairdresser, your barber, as soon as they just are just like, oh yeah, oh cool. That's like them like, it's the information is coming in, they're hearing it, they want to reply back, but they can't because they're just so focused on like,
right there at work.
What's going on in front of them.
Which is what you want.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it was always kind of a meditation. My mind's always running like, fucking, I don't know, name a speed, man.
Name a speed. The speed of light.
Speed of light. A little less than that. I'm not like there. Maybe like 45.
Yeah.
I'm at 45 school.
Yeah.
Enough to do damage, but like not like we're not in the Fast and Furious,
Okay. All right. No NOS.
No NOS. No Paul Walker. No Vin Diesel. No family.
No family.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's always been something that's like intuitive for you. It must have been anyway. Meaning like it just, like you said, it panned out that way, but you also like pushed in that way because, was it just a financial decision in the beginning? Was it just like I
was definitely like, I think at the time I was like managing restaurants, making like $13 an hour, and it was like decent money, like at the time for being
a young man,
young man. But then I was kind of like, I don't know how long this is gonna take, and I don't know how much I could really make. The hair thing was kind of, I think also the fact where like I've always kind of, I grew up with like mainly two sisters and my mom, so like my mom was always like really on you for like what you looked like, so. I might have never wanted like haircuts when I was younger, but my mom would be the one that'd be like, "No, doc, you look
like shit.
Terrible.
I'm not taking you outside."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we didn't have much, but like every year, my mom would make sure I had like one clean pair of like white sneakers or something. And So she would definitely do her best, but she was always like stressed to us at a young age, or at least to me, like whatever, that like your appearance is kind of like that's your first
Interesting.
given like whatever, you know what I mean? That's the first time people see you, and that's first impressions count. Now, definitely, like my other two sisters, I would say probably care a little bit less about that.
Do you think because they're just like your mother probably preached a similar thing and they're girls and they just rebelled a bit?
Probably, and I was like, "Yes, mom." Like I'm 100% a mama's boy, so
Okay.
like that would probably do that. Yeah, be that.
If you want to turn this back a little bit, you can like turn it back a little bit, like if it's a little uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
And then
cool,
tighten
cool,
that
cool.
one up. Yeah, you can play with it. Play with it. Get
Tighten it. Wait, what do you mean tighten it?
Well, maybe not. Maybe it might be good. Just get comfortable. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
I just felt like you were slouching. You didn't look so.
Oh, got you.
No
got
baby,
you.
but just concerned for your posture.
Can I take a quick break?
You want to take a break?
Yeah, is that okay?
Oh yeah, we'll take a break.
Cool.
Okay, we'll be back. Yeah, no, the break is fine. I like taking the break, honestly. Some people, I've done marathon episodes where it's like 4+ hours, and I don't know, man. There's been lots of times. There's like times where you're like, okay, this is gonna be wrapping up soon.
Okay.
It'll be over. It'll be like 5 minutes left. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then it's like at 90 minutes later, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like someone drops a bomb on you, some ridiculous story, and you go for hours and hours and hours. Like I've had that happen.
Well, I get that. Can I drop a bomb on you right now?
Let's hear a bomb.
Cool. So, I've actually did my own research on you for.
You did research on me.
I did research on you, Charlie, for this podcast.
What'd you come up with?
Well, I'll drop one bomb at a time. Okay. First of all, I just want to ask you about. Did you ever work at IHOP? And
I briefly worked at IHOP.
how about you got anything for spilling containers at IHOP that you could tell me about?
That's so funny. IHOP was my very first job at 15, and I worked there for a weekend.
A weekend?
A weekend.
You
It was
lasted like 3 days.
It was like a
2
Thursday,
days.
Friday, Saturday.
Oh man.
And I was just a busboy at IHOP, 15 years old. I've talked about my life on this podcast before, so I won't bore people. But yeah, I was working.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, should I scroll down?
No, scroll down. I'll tell. No, I haven't told this story, but I'm saying
Okay.
like people know. I think they might know who the fuck listens to this, but
For sure.
like,
I
you
think I
know.
got some stuff that could surprise you a little bit on here.
yeah. So I started working as a very young man as well. I think you knew that, but so from here I am, 15 years old at IHOP. I live like a half mile away. I can just walk there. I got to get there early as fuck in the morning.
For sure.
5 in the morning. Here I am, 15 years old. It's summer. Such bullshit. And I'm just like, end of the shift Saturday. It's like 4 o'clock. I finally get to go home. I just worked 2.5, 3 whole days straight. Just like busted my ass, busting tables, like learning how to work at an IHOP, getting yelled at by all sorts of customers and the staff and things like that. And I'm like, I got the mop. I'm like mopping the kitchen down. It's all greasy as fuck everywhere. I'm making that bitch look shiny as fuck, nice and pretty.
Using that Mr. Clean, that
Hell yeah.
Fabulosa.
Yeah. And they've got like a couple of beverages. They got like a raspberry iced tea, and they got like a Lipton whatever regular ass tea on this rickety ass cart. This like little janky ass dolly of a cart, right? 30 something gallons, 30 gallons or something.
Okay.
And I've knocked.
It's in like that nice like tin kind of like dispenser kind of thing.
These are
or-
like big plastic vats, like tall plastic
They got,
vats,
like,
and they
numbers
were
around
like
them?
they were like recycling the tea. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Give them the money's worth. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And I have, at the end of my shift, I am mopping up and I back my ass up right into this cart and I spill all of it, both of them, and it just like slow motion just topples down and like whacks the floor, and then the tea like goes and hits the wall and comes back like a fucking tidal wave.
You just watch this all slow motion.
Yeah, like
You're 15. You're like, my boss is gonna kill me.
basically. Well, I didn't even have a conversation with my boss. I just left.
You just dipped.
I just left. I lived a half mile away. I walked home. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna work's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my very first job as a young man, 15.
And you had a couple strange jobs, right? I've done some more research,
I've had
and I heard.
I've had more jobs than most people. Like
Okay.
30 something jobs in my lifetime.
That's nuts.
Most people have like
Have you ever found a job off Craigslist?
many times.
Okay.
Where's this going?
How about did you ever do any vermin control?
Oh, briefly, I worked for a company. I later found out the only reason this guy hired me is because he had a DUI and couldn't drive. he needed someone to drive him around. But
For sure. We got Uber now.
now we got Uber. He can run his business through Uber. You don't need.
Yeah.
But we drove. I had to pick him up from his home. He lived in like an apartment complex in Downers Grove or something. He drove a big ass Ford 350 with a trailer on it full of tools and gear.
Nice.
And
what color was the truck?
Red. I forget the name
Was
of
it
the
like
company.
a crimson red or was it like a burgundy?
No, it's like that bright Ford construction truck red. I don't know what
Nice.
that is. It's like a crimson or like a vermilion, a little brighter.
I hear you.
And this guy had a racket, man. Tell you what, kids, you want to start a business? Here's a business idea. Animal control. This motherfucker would go to people's houses and collect rodents, like usually possums or raccoons.
Yeah.
They've set up shop and had babies or something.
For sure.
Capturing them was always a little difficult, or feeding them off was always a little difficult. There's one sketchy time in a garage where I had to come at a raccoon with a bat, me or the raccoon. Oh, the guy put a bat in my hands, and he said, "If
you better hope no one from Peters listen to this, man."
Dude,
Jesus.
fuck this. I'm not. It's me or a raccoon. It's me. I'll tell you.
Raccoons are I have my own story with the raccoon. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, but anyway, this guy. So I think the law in Illinois is you have to euthanize vermin or rodents or whatever the fuck you call them.
Okay.
On site. This guy would just
on site, like you see a rodent, that thing's gone.
I think if you have a license to do animal control, you're supposed to do it legally. But this guy, and which is sad in its own way, whatever.
So crazy. Though.
Maybe I'm wrong. You'll correct me.
He was just trying to get $1.
Put in the comments.
Yeah,
but this guy would just scoop him up, get him out of there, clean up the place a little bit, and then drive to the next job and let him go. So
what? Wait, so he would let him go to the next shop? So he was like kind of like saving the animals, but also like
I don't think he had the heart to do it.
Yeah, but then he was probably also making more money because then if you just like set it off at the next person's house, he was honestly reducing, reusing, and recycling
100%
animals and just collecting on that. That's honestly genius. You're right, kids. Take notes.
Seriously.
I got a client that actually does animal control. That was his first
Give him
business.
that tip.
So
Give him that tip.
We might be talking about the same guy. I might cut this dude's hair now. Who knows?
Maybe. Ask me if you ever had a DUI.
Yeah. I'll bring that up very lightly,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I had my own raccoon story.
Let's hear it.
So when I was in barber school, during that, like, I don't know, it was like a year and a half when I was going through barber school. I think I graduated a couple months early just because I was like, let's just grind this out. Mm-hmm. But I remember that it was a really dark period of my life, Charlie, when I was in barber school.
Sure.
I would work from like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning until about like 3 or 4, and school would start at like 5 and go to like 10:30 or something. So like my life was just like nonstop, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Fast forward. It's like a Thursday. Okay. I'm probably like halfway in between school and work. I'm stressed, yo. Mm-hmm. But it's also at night. This time it's probably like 11:30. I was definitely on like a 40 a day diet then.
40 a day? What do you mean?
Like, I would
a 40 a day.
Yeah, like
okay.
I would just be like, all right, come home, go to 7-Eleven, grab a 40 and like have a cigarette, and like that was my night. And then I would watch like Jimmy Kimmel. I'd watch like a late night show and like do that and just that was life, man. But so one night I was outside in my backyard. I got my little 40, taking a couple sips and shit. Mm-hmm. And then I light my cigarette, start smoking. I'm like, wow, I gotta take a leak. Charlie, what do South Side guys do best?
We piss outside.
We piss outside. So it's like 11:30 at night, man, right? Yeah. And like, I got my cigarette in my mouth. I got like my 40 in like my hand, whatever. I probably got like I'm a big hip hop guy, so I'll, be listening. I got my music going and shit. Mm-hmm. I'm out here like, she got her body rocking like a cyclone.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? All night long.
Hell yeah.
And I started writing my name,
Mm-hmm.
on my name. I made sure to write my name this night. I wanted big capital letters, like
Hell
I was feeling myself. And all of a sudden I hear, that's a scary sound.
That's a
When
vulnerable.
you got your dick in your hand,
right.
dog, like, yo. So I hear it again. I'm like, I look around, nothing, right? Like, I'm just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Even to the point where I was like, is that me urinating? Is that me writing my name on my neighbor's fence?
Yeah.
Is this the sound of
You're like-
capitalized letters?
You're listening for recoil.
Yeah. I hear it again. Again, I'm probably like about halfway through my 40 and whatnot, so I got a little buzz going, And then all of a sudden I look up.
Oh, shoot. Above you?
Above me on my garage, dog, about 15 feet away from me is this raccoon, like this big mama, right? She's thick. She's ready to go. She had a Red Bull, She's over here just like ready to lunge.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're just vulnerable
I'm
as
just
fuck. Exposed.
vulnerable, exposed,
Yeah.
So I slowly
Just back it up.
go back it up and tuck it back in.
Mm-hmm.
All while I'm staring at her, right?
You just walk it back.
Finish my cigarette.
You just
Ashley, I asked her, I made sure like that to offer her.
You want
like,
his?
yo, we be cool. Yeah.
Right.
And then just slowly back it up.
Yeah.
Until I got to my garage. Ever since then, fuck them raccoons. Also, fuck birds. Birds are prehistoric, crazy beings with wings. Lately, I've always been terrified of birds, and then I kind of got over it and was like, you know what? They're not so bad, right? Man, I just watched Hitchcock the other day. That was on Netflix. Birds is a scary movie. Like, it's
I haven't seen
legit.
that one.
Man, it's wild, man, because like, first of all, it's great. Okay, so it's like 2 hours. It's a 2-hour movie. Can you imagine like a 2-hour movie in 1960? Like, I just want to break this down. Like, we did like a 3-hour like Avatar 2 movie
Right. That was amazing.
in like 2022, whatever, and that was like people were like, "Yo, I can't sit in this recliner for 3 hours. That's a long movie." People over here in 1960 sitting in the theater for a 2-hour movie. People were pissed, bro. But
They didn't like it?
I mean, I'm just saying from a consumer, maybe like one of the movies was like legit that great then. But like, could you imagine a 2-hour movie in 1960 and like?
It must have been good. Well, Hitchcock. We're talking about Hitchcock.
Yeah. Anyways, watch any Hitchcock movie like down to the T. It's always like he'll set up like the whole story.
But
And
birds.
like exactly halfway through, he'll just set up the story, character development, everything. And then it's like as soon as you get halfway point, birds. He doesn't explain these birds. These aren't birds from hell. These aren't like birds that like drank the wrong water. They were just like, here's these characters, here's their story, and all of a sudden now they're just getting attacked by birds that just woke up one day and were just like, no explanation. Like that's
Wait,
terrifying.
which movie is this?
This is Birds. By
This is
Hitchcock.
called Birds.
This is called just Birds.
Oh, man. Yeah, he fucks with birds a lot, doesn't he? Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's wild.
Birds are crazy. I was thinking about making a documentary about seagulls.
Do you want to die, Charlie?
I don't know, but I thought about that
Like
when you were saying that.
your life is at risk when you have to
Fuck with
go
seagulls.
follow birds, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Perhaps.
crazy part about the movie too. Is like they don't just choose one bird. It's like crows come down and like just
Yeah.
start like biting this little girl at school. Like,
Dude,
it's nuts.
birds are
man.
crazy, man.
They are.
Literally outside the window here the other day, I hear screaming. This screaming sound. I think a child in trouble or something. A hawk killed a pigeon in the tree right here.
That's crazy.
And
What
it-
did the pigeon do?
It just fucking died, dude. It just rolled over and screamed and died.
Damn, man.
He got clawed the fuck. He probably got picked off, but it was some nature's metal shit, dude, right here. Like,
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is
Chicago
about
gets
birds.
to everyone. It's
Yeah.
not just the people, it's the birds. too.
also, okay, you've seen those, have you run into any of those red-winged blackbirds, they're called?
To be honest with you, I'm not the brightest when it comes to like animal knowledge.
It's okay. That's no
or
big deal.
Species and all that stuff. I know a dog versus a cat sometimes.
Right. Well,
usually.
This one's pretty simple. It's called the red-winged blackbird. They've got red wings and they're black. These are the dive bomb ones. Have you run into these anywhere, like hiking in Palos or anything?
Now that I've never gotten attacked by a bird, and
They're super territorial.
Oh, geez.
And if you come within a huge distance for whatever, they're very territorial. Like a couple 100 feet of their bird's nest, they just come at your head, dude. They just come for your head.
It's wild.
They used to be all around this path when I lived in Hickory, and you could eventually I got so used to them, or like I knew where they were at. I'd watch them perch up on the apartment buildings behind this path, and they make nests low in the brush. So there's this big pond right low, and then brush up a whole hillside, and then a path at the very top. So they'd make their nest down there, and then they would just hide out in these fucking on top of these apartment buildings, just wait for people to come down this stretch of the path, and just full force like right at your face, dude. And just fuck with you, like, get out of my territory. They're terrible.
Man. That never happened to me.
Right.
The only time I ever had something happen to me at Palos was there was one time, one of my favorite places to go to, like, especially when I was living in Palos, is Maple Lake.
Right.
I used to love going there just to kind of think, just to kind of, like, get my ideas up. So this had to be, I think this is 2020, man. I had a lot of things to think about.
Sure.
So, like, and I was writing a lot then. And
Writing,
remember,
like, poetry? Or
Yeah,
just, like,
it was-
journaling?
That day, I can't remember exactly. I was doing a lot, around that time, I was doing a lot of big poetry and writing. That's,
Yeah.
I mentioned kind of before, I was in the newspaper and
Yeah, yeah,
publication and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I've always really just enjoyed to just write, whatever.
Mhm.
But I would go to Maple Lake whenever I need inspiration, just to kind
Yeah.
of zone out, When I was living in Palos, I just was in a bedroom, and it wasn't, sometimes I feel like you just need more than a bedroom when you
Need some inspiration.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
natural world.
So I remember I had went to Maple Lake. I had to be stoned. That's
Classic,
the only
classic.
only way. But I remember I was sitting there, and I'm over here. I'm at Maple Lake, and I'm writing poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Roses are red. Charlie is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm writing this down in my notebook, and all of a sudden, I see a Speedway cup, like filled with like soda, whatever, right? And all these kids keep walking up to it, and these parents like, get the fuck away, and grabbing them. I'm curious, man. I'm like, well, what's going on with like this Speedway cup, yo?
Yeah.
So I finished writing my book. And again, I had to be stoned, or I had to be like, I don't know, I was like in my fields writing poetry, just wanted to, I was just on one. When you're just on one sometimes, I was just on one. So I had walked to the Speedway couple like, man, all these parents are taking these kids away from this. I want to see what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all in my poetic feelings. I walk up to it. This whole cup is just full of bees.
What the fuck,
Full
dude?
of bees, bro.
Like they saw a swarm of bees?
Like the cup was like just
Dead
like
bees?
300 bees in a Speedway cup, like drinking the
Alive?
Alive,
Oh.
just swarming around this cup.
Yeah.
I got down there, and I was like, I have a weird obsession with like sunflowers and bees
You
and all
do?
that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I walked up there and was like, these are my brothers, and I had looked down. And I was like, all these people are screaming at these bees, and they're just out here just doing their thing, trying to make that honey, yo. And the crazy thing was like, I take a step back, and I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't scared of no bees. I started looking at them, maybe do a little meditation session,
Yeah.
I was searching for some meaning, and then I back away, and I'm like, that was cool. I'm gonna go home now.
Mm-hmm.
Lit up a cigarette, I'm on my way home. I'm out here driving my car. I'm on my way home. I remember getting to my house, and I'm sorry that all my stories just end up with me taking a piss. But I remember going upstairs,
Back to taking a
and I'm just going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, I remember I had to go so bad, then my jacket was still on, right? So
Right.
like my
So you just
jacket's
pants
on.
at your ankles,
so I
jacket
just was
on.
like, all right, ran upstairs and was like, all right, here we go. All of a sudden, I feel a pinch in my arm, and I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? And so like I'm peeing, I put my jacket up, I get out, and there's this bee that just like falls out on the ground, just like with this penetration dead thing out, like shaking, whatever. And I looked at him, I got so mad. And I was like, I can't step on him. I'm over here Googling, like, yo,
What's up with the bee sting?
what's up with bee stings? What does that symbolize? What if if I kill a bee, is this gonna karmically come back out and like whatever? But like I couldn't kill the bee, man.
He killed himself. That's a kamikaze move. I
Yeah,
think,
100%.
Right?
Well, I let him outside, so that's on him. That was not on me. But like, I got a couple. He actually stung me right on a flower, so I thought maybe he was like he was like trying to pollinate. You know, he got confused. You know, maybe he was a little stoned. You know, a little buzzed.
Could have been.
And
fucking peripherally high from you.
Yeah, exactly. I might have blew in the cup a little bit, you know.
What do you call that? Hot boxed.
Yeah.
Hot boxed his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's that, man.
Fuck. You know, man, I learned one time there was a bee swarm in Palos. I have a friend who's like an amateur entomologist, so I hit her up. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with these bees right now? She's like, oh, their queen's probably missing or something, and they tend to swarm in the springtime when
Did you hit on her? Were you like, baby, you're a queen?
No, this is just a friend. This is just a friend. She's really smart, really cool, but never like that.
For sure.
But I was like, what's up with this bee swarm? Like, she's like, their queen must be missing. So I guess that's what that means. But because they swarmed a car outside of Strange Brew in Palos as well. So in the springtime, was this the springtime? You're all high as fuck wandering around Maple Lake?
This had to be like summer.
Yeah,
summer
perhaps
2020,
perhaps.
maybe fall. No, I mean I said I was wearing a jacket, but
you
then
were
again,
wearing a jacket.
Yeah, this had to be like probably like I don't know, July, August.
Yeah,
I don't think it was September.
motherfuckers wearing a jacket in July.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I told you I was writing poetry. I was not in a good place. Okay, I was writing shit, dude.
Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry to throw that out there, but that's cool.
Yeah, man. Would have rubbed my face.
Have you been writing a long time?
Do
you do it often still?
It comes in peaks and balances.
You should write a book, dude. A book of poetry.
That's on my bucket list.
Self-publish a book of poetry.
So like Shel
do it now.
Silverstein.
Do it now.
There's a lot that goes into it.
I'll edit it for you. I'll do it. I'll put it all out and I'll edit it. I'll sponsor it.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Well, like with that, I always had this dream of like I wanted to be like Shel Silverstein, right? I wanted to do, and I'm not really a good drawer. Like I can't really draw, but also like Shel Silverstein illustrations are all very kind of like
it's very rudimentary,
simple and like
very line based.
Yeah, rudimentary, sure, whatever you want. I didn't think he was that rude, but he was. I thought he was fine.
Just very crude, like very like line based. Yeah.
So like I always kind of just wanted to do like my own like little like words and do my own kind of illustrations and put out a little book of like kind of little poems like Shel, but like
you should 100% do that
version. That
I don't
was,
know,
like, all just depressing and like just get my feels out. You know,
if you had a book for sale in your shop, I'm certain people would be like, "You wrote this? I'm getting one." So you should definitely do that.
Yeah, one day we'll get there.
Or just even on Amazon.
It would always, you know, and for me, for like that, like I think lately it's just been.
You should just do it now. I'm serious. Like if you have like a couple dozen,
I probably got like about like 15 poems.
Perfect. Volume one.
Volume 1.
100%. You should just do it and get it out. Because you'll do a second one and it'll be better. But if you do the first one, it's done. Do it on Amazon. I'll show you how to do it.
Well, I had like I'm weird, man, but I only like writing. Like I can't write when I'm feeling good. I gotta be like I gotta be in the grind, you know. So there was a while where like that was like almost one of the only ways I can go to sleep, or like one of the ways I was able to tell that I couldn't sleep. Like if I was up there and I was struggling, I was like, something's on your mind. You're thinking about something. This is the best time to write.
Interesting.
So I would try to go to sleep. If I couldn't sleep, I would just wake up and just start writing down a bunch of things, or just the first things that would come to mind.
Yeah.
And I would use that as a way to kind of map like what's been on my mind the last couple days and like what I've been thinking. So then I would do that a couple times, and sometimes it would get to the point where if I woke up in the middle of the night and didn't really have anything to come to mind, I would just kind of go back and read what I had been thinking about. And as soon as I read one line that would resonate with me, I would just kind of like start writing about whatever hit me.
Springboard you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I would just be using that until I was able to fall asleep, like whatever.
And when you're writing, is it mostly like prose? Is it like or is it like very metaphoric? What is it exactly? Or does it change? Is it very fluid?
I think it kind of changes, you know.
Is it sometimes like short story, like a couple paragraphs of a moment?
Maybe some of them. I mean, I think I do use a lot of kind of metaphors and like whatever.
Right.
Just because I think that out in the world, I think there's so many metaphors like very simply that are right in front of us that sometimes are just like
easy to grab,
and like as soon as you just see that little thing and like you just like apply it to your life and you're just like, wow, that was that one little link I needed, was to see that snail crawl into that Pepsi can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I adopt things like that all the time.
Yeah, like he's looking for home. Like, are you home? You know,
right.
No, you're in Coke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just like little things like that.
That's awesome. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were a writer, a creative writer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like it's like something I do. Like, honestly, ever since I had kind of expanded, I've just been so busy lately with like haircuts and expanding my own business that I've not really been in the...
It's taking a back seat.
Yeah. Lately, it's been a lot more, watching old school Hitchcock movies and just kind of like thinking...
That's just as important sometimes.
But I do think it's something I would definitely like to get back to, and sometimes I think this is just my little year break to kind of refocus and grab some more stories and experience life to kind of use as inspiration in the future. So...
Yes, absolutely.
We'll get there.
Don't stop doing it.
Thank you.
Keep doing it.
Thank
Please
you.
do.
You haven't even heard anything.
I have not heard it, but I know that it's like gonna be good because I know you. And I know you're like a sincere, very observant person, so I'm sure it'll be good. But we should put one out. Let's put one out. I want to do one. I'll print it. Oh my God, we'll make them. We'll like.
You're getting so excited, man.
Listen. Okay, yeah. No, that'd be cool. We'll like print them for real. We can make I have a printing press. We can make, I don't know, 150 of them, whatever.
I feel you.
You'll be your writing. We'll put it on a screen. We'll print it in a book. We'll bind the book. We'll cover the book, and it'll be like an artifact of
there we go.
your life or whatever your stories are.
Do you write too, Charlie?
I write, yeah. Writing is like my first...
You got the typewriter.
I use the typewriter now.
You know what? Ever since you said that, like in writing has been ever since you said that, I want a typewriter, man. I don't know where to find. I don't know where to find. I don't even know how to use one.
You spend 5 minutes on Facebook Marketplace, you'll have a typewriter.
For like how much? I'm broke.
I got mine for like $30.
$30?
Yeah, and you can get one cheaper probably.
How old is it?
Mine's from the 50s.
Yo,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, especially by you. Like.
Oh yeah,
they're probably
just going in someone's garbage can.
Yeah,
they'll be like, "My dad did this."
I'll tell you what. For putting ink on paper, there is no better tool. For getting like thoughts out quickly, there isn't a better tool. You don't have to sit down to a computer and like fire up Google Maps, or not Google Maps, Google Docs,
sure.
Or like you don't have to pull up a word processor. You don't have to type in your notes app on your cell phone. You don't have to find a pen. You know what I mean? Like
you're in the zone.
Right. So if you have it set up and it's there, you'll use it.
Okay.
But I mean, I do all those other things too.
For sure.
But I'm also the kind of person who's like, I got a pen on me at all times.
No, I feel that.
But for intentionally sitting down, and oftentimes, you know what? Like I find myself, I sit down at the typewriter and I have nothing to say. A lot of the time. Maybe
just you and that typewriter.
Maybe half the time. But that's how ideas work. I don't know. Do you feel that way about ideas? Like when you get an epiphany, it's like, where did that come from? You have no idea where that came from.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, again, I think that's why I haven't really wrote, because I haven't had that like whatever. And it's honestly, it like bothers me that like I've like been like, I feel like creatively like not lost, but like I did a lot for hair.
Yeah.
Like I've been just really kind of focusing on that, and also I've been trying to curate my own shit, man. I've been whipping up I've been trying to make my own shampoo.
Yeah,
And,
you're working on products, right?
pomades and
Yeah.
aftershaves, all handcrafted. So now what I want is like, instead of like writing down how I'm feeling sad, I want to like go and make aftershave.
Fuck yeah,
When I'm
whatever.
feeling sad. Then give it to you.
Yes, 100%.
And then you can use my tears
You're sick.
to help soften the blow.
Yeah.
When you shave a little bit, just, soothe it a little bit to be like,
Yeah.
you know what? I feel his tears.
I mean, if you're going to do that, that's some fucking contemporary art shit. I
And
love
then
it.
I'm going to throw a poem.
You should do that.
On
You should 100% do that.
Each pomade, man. It's
Dude,
it's gonna tell its own story.
Yes, 100%, dude. I love this idea. When I was in college,
Are we doing shit right now?
no, listen to me. That's a great idea. Let me tell you.
Tanks, yo.
Let me give you a tangent really quick.
Okay.
I did something similar in college. I had a class, a 3D design class. We had to design packaging for something, right? And I designed. Have I told you this before?
I don't know.
Okay.
This kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know.
So I designed a chocolate bar for adults.
This sounds familiar.
Okay, it was called Heavy Slime, and it was like
Yes.
It was like I made the packaging. I got this really nice paper, and I cut this like floral embossed imprint out of it.
Okay,
And it was
okay.
this really nice like heavy stock blue, beautiful packaging that I made and stuff. But then on the inside of it was a dirty story, a smutty story. It was
Yes, I do remember this now. Yes, I do remember. Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually really dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could.
smut for adults.
I could do something like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We called it Heavy Slime. But like I love shit like that. I absolutely love stuff like that.
I got right now what I'm sitting on is they got like another. I'm waiting for the chemicals to kind of like sit and cure and all that fun stuff. So while I was gonna do that and give out some free samples and whatnot, maybe that first batch I'll just like toss in like
Some dirty stories.
some like I was gonna say some like old sad like poetry they had written.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Just toss it in there. And
You
just
should.
So you're giving me ideas right now, right here.
That's been my favorite thing about
Live.
like making products is like okay, so the wallet. So like I needed like a thing to like base them off of. So I came up with the Herzog, that Werner Herzog.
Herzog?
Yeah, he's German. Werner Herzog.
I've never heard of him. His name is Wiener
Werner Herzog.
Burner.
He's a German documentary filmmaker,
Burner.
and he made this movie called Fitzcarraldo.
Did he
Let me tell you. Can I tell you the story?
find Vermont?
No,
Okay,
but
go ahead.
okay,
I'll let you tell the story now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put it that way, but like
This is your show, dog. You do you.
So he made this documentary. There's an even no. This is a feature length film. It was his first feature length film. It's about this. The movie's called Fitzcarraldo.
Okay.
It's this eccentric orchestra owner in like the 30s who, he's very talented but has no money, so he needs to make a fortune somehow, and so he goes to South America to go to the Amazon to collect rubber to become a rubber baron. But the way that he has to do it is he has to buy a ship, find a crew, and then to save money so that they don't have to go up the Amazon River, he pulls the ship over a mountain. And this is a fictional story that Werner Herzog wrote.
Okay.
But the documentary is called The Burden of Dreams.
Is this on Hulu?
No, you'll have to buy it on like Amazon or something.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry,
I'm
but
beefing with Amazon
the
right
documentary is called The Burden of Dreams, and it's Werner Herzog. He's like late 20s, trying to make this movie in the fucking Amazon.
That's actually
Tribes
dope.
are like killing his crew members, and he's using indigenous people. It ends up becoming like this arduous story of him trying to make this movie. At the same time, like the character in the movie is trying to do this, pull this boat over this mountain. So it's a crazy metaphor because they really have to pull the fucking boat over the mountain for the movie. It's a practical effect. And he's got engineers that are like, if you're going to do this, people are going to fucking die. We can't do it this way. It's too steep. I know you want it to be 45 degrees, but they're going to die. And then people fucking did die.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
This guy was dedicated.
But anyway, so like, and that was just like wildly inspiring to me. He's an inspiring figure as well. He grew up in post-World War II Germany. He went to college to be a
This
documentary.
would have been what year? This would have been what?
Late 40s, early 50s.
That's wild. Okay.
And he went to college to be a documentary filmmaker, but because it was post-war Germany, shit was just fucked in Germany. So he stole all of the college's film gear and just dipped out of Germany.
In a Volkswagen?
Probably, yeah. Oh, he made this other great movie, like one of his student films, and it's like the most romantic movie I've ever seen in my life. But that's another tangent. But anyway, Werner Herzog, he's this crazy documentary filmmaker, and that's why I based the wallet off of him. Like, okay, this is a cool product, someone who's inspiring and influential from my past.
For sure.
How can I like distill that into something cool? So, that's why I branded the wallet the Herzog tactical wallet.
That's actually really cool, man. I actually really appreciate that.
So I love assigning things that are influential, like a new meaning for a thing that I'm doing.
I get that. I get that.
Very similar to how you're describing the product you're talking about. Like,
yeah.
You should have your own personality to do it. That's what people are buying. Because anyone could buy any fucking Burt's Bees or Head and Shoulders or whatever the fuck.
That's true. Carmex.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah. But
Everyman Jack.
Everyman Jack. Sasquatch.
Old Spice.
We're not sponsored by any of these people.
Axe.
Hey.
Tag.
Okay, once you have a product, I'll do like a read for it too on the podcast.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
This has been brought to you by some douche that lives in Hinsdale.
Yeah, buy pomade. Yeah.
Yeah.
100% though. Yeah.
Nice.
I just love stuff like that. I don't know.
No,
I love.
respect.
Yeah, it's so much fun. But
well, I'm gonna take a step back and ask you another question then.
Okay, what do you got for me?
Let's see. I got a couple.
You got a
more.
fucking. You brought notes.
I got notes, man. I told you.
Yeah, you did research.
I did my research. Yeah. What can you tell me about Larry's birthday?
It's May 7th every year. I don't know.
Oh wow, mine's May 6th.
Is it really?
You. I think if you rewind, yeah. Or we talk about it. Yeah. So wow. But I heard
What
that
about Larry's?
Someone woke you up in a car.
Oh, okay. No, recently I reacted. That was Larry's birthday? It was. Okay, two things have happened in my 30s.
For sure. How old are you now? I'm sorry.
I'm 30.
30, okay. So two things happened this year. Got you. For sure.
My reflexes.
And then we're 6 months in, right?
Yeah, it's June. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
My reflexes have improved tremendously.
Okay.
I don't drop anything anymore. I fucking catch shit. If I fumble something, I'm catching it.
Dude, that's like Barber 101. You just catch shit. Like,
that's
all
awesome.
The time. It's just like you're just ready to grab something.
Hell yeah.
You should start cutting hair.
Fuck no.
Do me.
Do you? You would hate the haircut I give you.
I would let you.
Okay, next time I visit, I'll cut your hair.
That's cool. I'm down.
My reflexes improved, and when I'm woken up in the middle of the night, I'm full of fear.
Okay. Yeah.
But the Larry story. Recently, I went to Larry, one of my best friends, the one who lives in Tolono. His birthday party. We were just, we went down there to celebrate and see each other. We don't see each other so often anymore, so it's always good time to see him and his family and all of our close friends and stuff. But I go to bed early. So
Okay.
the party.
How early are we talking?
The party was going late, and it was probably like midnight. I went to bed.
Oh damn! If
Which
you were a gremlin, that's like you have to go to bed before midnight.
I fought to stay awake. I was fighting. I was drinking coffee and
Were you
shit.
working that day?
Yeah, it was like a Friday night.
You had kids.
I don't have fucking kids, but
I mean, you were.
Oh, I
like
worked
at
with
work.
kids.
Yeah. So you were at work with kids.
Yeah, no, it was just like a work.
That's
day.
your motto at work. I don't have kids.
kids.
While you're a teacher.
Yeah, no, I tell them that shit. But so I went to sleep in my car. Larry's house. There's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how many people spent the night there, right? So like all the areas are occupied.
For sure.
So
Just the same Larry that lives in the cornfields, right?
Yeah, down in Tolono. And fucking Larry, they got a go-kart. They're getting out at like the latest fucking
Y'all
morning.
are Mario Karting up there?
Yeah, basically.
We ain't talking no Wii.
Hell no. This
No
is legit.
Switch.
Okay, so this is what happens, and this is why I love visiting the country, though, because like
100%.
you don't get hangs like this anywhere else, but in the fucking deep country.
1,000%.
2:00 in the morning, fire up the fucking go-kart.
Let's go.
And then just cheering, like 5, 10 dudes, just like, yeah, fuck yeah, turn that corner, like just stupid shit, right? Country shit.
100%.
Love it.
100%. There's mud everywhere.
Oh, 100, yeah, no doubt. But so they're going hard at it, right? And I can like kind of hear this in my dreams. because I crawl into
See,
my.
I didn't hear this part of the story, so I'm kind of like, oh
Yeah.
wow, I wasn't informed this whole thing.
Okay, I'm giving all the context. So about midnight, I crawl into my car and go to bed because I'm like, I'm going to bed. I got a comfy ass car
For sure.
for tonight anyway.
I got heated seats.
Right. But so there, I fall asleep. I'm sleeping soundly. It's like peaceful. It's cornfields. Nothing's happening.
For sure.
Fucking-
Are there stars out?
Stars are so good down there.
Hell
Stars
yeah.
are so good down
Oh,
there.
yeah. Could you count them, or the
You
so
can't.
many you can?
So many you can't.
That's
but you
sexy.
can be lost in them for sure.
Fuck yeah.
And but anyway, I'm sleeping soundly as fuck, dude. And I've never reacted like this ever before in my life. But Brian opens up the car door, dude, and he's like eye level with me. I don't know it's him at first though, and he's just like, dude, we got the go-kart, you gotta get up. But
I
he's
can
like,
so see him doing that. We gotta go.
yeah. But he's like shouting and hyped. And I'm like, I had just been sound asleep. So my reaction was to just scream. I just fucking screamed bloody murder. I was just like, ah! Ah! I was terrified, dude. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh,
That was the first
man.
time I've ever reacted like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's all. I don't usually scream or freak out. I'm usually a pretty calm and cool. Nothing.
not a
I'm not
screamer.
afraid of anything. I'm
Not a
not.
screamer.
No, I'm not afraid of anything.
Got you.
Most things.
Not even ghost.
No, I don't. I'm not afraid of ghosts.
Okay.
Are you afraid of ghosts?
Nah. I confront all my ghosts.
I confront fucking ghosts too, dude.
Yeah,
If a bitch ass ghost wants to pull up,
I'm like, look at me. Look
Yeah.
at these. You think you could scare this?
Yeah.
You know? I've been scared.
have you ever been like really scared though? Have you been like alone somewhere and been like really fucking scared because you think some paranormal shit or something that is unexplainable happened?
Every day in life, I just wake up feeling scared.
Yeah, that's just anxiety.
Yeah, I just want to scream as soon as I wake up.
I've never
Oh,
had like
shit, I'm alone.
yeah. Oh fuck. I've never had like a true paranormal encounter or anything like that ever.
Yeah,
though.
I don't think I really have either. I mean, I've heard stories. Like, I definitely think that like something like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just haven't been fortunate or unfortunate enough to come in contact with anything. Or maybe I have, but again, I think I'll see like little things like in life, you know, that I'll kind of like, I feel like that's a spirit guide, or I think that's like
An omen.
or an energy or like whatever that I'm supposed to see and be here, but like nothing that's ever actually like scared me or actually been like whatever. Yeah, there's definitely maybe been times where I maybe like overthink and been like seeing something and think like, oh my God, is that a ghost? Because this
Yeah.
means this and maybe this what I like, but nothing that's ever been like. You remember Casper?
Yeah, I
You remember
know.
when Hillary Duff was Wendy?
Yeah.
Nothing ever came close to like that.
Okay.
I never like chilled on a broomstick with a ghost, and it spooked me. you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know that I take that shit seriously. But wait, this gives me a tangent. Let me ask you a question.
For
Okay.
sure, for sure.
What do you think's more mysterious? Atoms or supermassive black holes?
To be honest with you, I'm probably not that relevant on either, or not that smart enough to comment on either
Just
subject.
contemplate. Just contemplate.
Atoms and black holes. So
Supermassive black holes. I'll give you context.
it's
if you need
almost like the
context.
exact opposite. The yin and the yang. Which one are you more scared of? The yin or yang? Because you got one that's an atom, which is probably what the smallest molecule that can ever, and then you got the exact opposite, which would be like a big black hole.
Yeah.
So it's like one man can change the world, but it takes a whole system.
Right.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think at first the question kind
what's
of
your
becomes
instinct?
like you kind of had said earlier, right? Those bees were swarming because their queen was down.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like one bee, one atom isn't necessarily that scary. He could sting you, but he's not that scary. But in huge black hole, which is a bunch of atoms, or the missing of atoms, or I don't know. I feel like that's like a mass collective, whatever.
Yeah.
Without the queen, they all swarm a car. So I feel like I don't know. That's kind of tough to say, man.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask
Does
is
that make
'cause, like,
any sense?
no. I'm kidding. But
You're not.
just like the what's more mysterious? The question basically is like, what do you think is more mysterious, the incredibly small or the unimaginably large? Because when we're
don't
talking
know.
about, in the context, if you want, I'll give you some context why I asked the question to lots of people. Because atoms are the smallest thing we know about in the universe. And
For sure.
They have their own set of rules and protocols and math that we use to describe and understand them. And the same is true of celestial bodies. So
I'm going to go with the atom.
you're going with the atom.
I'm
You're
gonna
going to go
go-
small.
I'm gonna go
the small
small.
things.
I'm scared of more of the small things. I think like the bigger things, like first of all, it takes a collection of small things, and I think each small thing has to go through something to join something bigger or to become something bigger. So like I think it really starts at the atom. It's not like it started at the big whatever. They all started there, and then they knew once they got to this big collective, this was the goal of the big collective. It wasn't, you know what I mean?
Do you think there's a conscious goal of the universe? Do you think there's a conscious goal of the universe?
Do I think there's a conscious goal? How high are you right now, bro?
I'm getting there. This is what I like to compliment.
No, I'm here for it. I didn't know we were getting down like this, so I'm kind of stoked on it, to be honest with you. Were you, what was the question, man?
Do you think there's a collective goal of the universe? Do you think that there is a thing or a force that is at work? Or perhaps just trying to persuade stuff. Do you believe in aliens? All of it.
Do I believe in aliens?
You know, all of those things.
I believe life is more than just me and you. Like I believe there's a collective. I consider myself a spiritual being.
Sure.
You know, a man on a mission to experience life.
Yeah.
But I think that like,
Are you religious? Like in any traditional sense? Do you practice like Catholicism or Muslim or
I was
Judaism?
born Catholic. I like going to church, but like I also think that like the Bible is like really up into interpretation, and I think that like every Bible almost says like somewhat of the same story that you can kind of boil down. So I feel like I almost take like, I don't want to say artistic point to it, but like I think that like just like art or anything written, I think it's up for you to interpret, to kind of, build your own. So I believe, I guess more so in a personal relationship, whether that be with God or the universe or whatever. I kind of call God and the universe the same thing.
Right, as they should be.
Yeah, so I kind of think like, for me, I think that it's more so like, there's a collective, man. Like, I think I do, believe in karma and a little bit, and I think that like, your experience like is for you, but I think whatever you add to like the whole pot is kind of like what you get back out there, and like, I believe in energy. I think like it's all, I don't know. I gotta. Yeah, you just hit me crazy out of left field. You're like, yo, so you cut hair, but
this is what people talk about though. This is like what's important.
I feel you.
Your trade is just the vessel for the good conversation.
No, I hear that.
I'm like a little upset. So like
You're upset.
I'm a little upset.
Drake?
Like little Drake upset.
For sure.
You hear that noise? That's a car squealing out.
Outside?
That's gonna show up that's gonna be an artifact in the recording. They call that an artifact.
It's something nice.
Yeah. But so I don't know. Like I've become more upset because as most people do, and probably similar to you, like how you contemplate religion. First off, I hate all religions, I feel.
For sure.
I think I do.
No, for sure.
Like Catholics, get the fuck out of here.
No, I get it.
But like in a greater sense, like as you contemplate life and, how the story of mankind, humankind, your place in the universe and philosophy. Like I think that real hard scientists are very spiritual. I think you sort of have to be to interpret data in such a meticulous sort of way and then still make sense of it in your own life. So scientists who are studying hard data about the body, about the human body, about theoretical physicists and physicists who are like they can't explain things. Like okay, so recently I just went to a talk. let me preface. Let me qualify that.
Okay.
I went to a talk at the gallery here, Parlor and Ramp in Pilsen.
Okay.
They had a University of Chicago professor giving a talk about LIGO. LIGO is
Legos?
LIGO, LIGO. It is
So not bionicle.
not bionicle, sort of. That's called the LIGO Observatory. There's two of them. There's one in Louisiana. There's one in the Pacific Northwest somewhere.
Okay.
And what these are laser beams that run perpendicular to each other, and they go 2 miles in each direction. And what they do is between the two observatories, they're able to measure. Only recently in history are we able to do this. They can measure gravitational waves. So while it has been a theory for a long time, and people know the theory of space-time bending,
For sure.
we know for a fact that space bends. It bends.
That's wild.
So how do you observe that and make sense of that through data and not have some sort of spiritual connection? There's something about physics we don't understand clearly.
For sure.
But, however, to literally think that matter in space bends, and it does. It's
For
measurable.
sure.
What they measured was they measured the collision of two black holes, like, I don't know, billion light years ago. That's what this fucking lasers on Earth measured, dude. And so
Lasers.
the reason I get upset is because with knowledge like that,
For sure.
we have this word that is, for some reason, an ugly word, or is painted as an ugly word, which is God.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
God gets this like.
It's crazy how that word gets 3 letters, gets people so upset.
Yeah,
It's wild.
It started wars. You know,
Yeah. Which I get. Like, I get that. But, like,
perhaps, but I mean, it's like this ugly word now more than ever. Like,
for sure.
for some reason, if you use the word God, it makes you seem like naive or silly or stupid.
Yeah.
Or something. And look at Carl fucking Sagan. He's like, bitch, God.
That's what, yeah.
You know?
No, yeah, I get that.
More or less. Like, he's the most profound, like, most eloquent describer of the cosmos ever.
For sure.
You
No, I
know?
get that.
Like, it's just upsetting because it just, like, cuts the legs out of that conversation. But religion, on the other hand, the negative connotation, things I consider negative about God are just totally fucked. Like,
For sure.
especially the Catholics. Let me just
For sure.
reiterate that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I used to be an altar boy when I was younger.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything?
Uh,
Because, yeah, you know.
I had one mass to do
What the fuck?
by myself, and it was Christmas Day.
You had to,
or
like,
Christmas
perform
Eve.
mass? You had to, like,
I
talk?
mean, I had to be like the main. I never took that like serious. You know, I would just showed up. Like, I'm not the smartest, so like
You were
they'd
the
be
only
like,
one?
No, I mean, on that day, I was the only one that showed up. So
Christmas
like,
Eve?
It's Christmas Eve. There's like all these people here and stuff. The priest is over here, like giving me hand gestures, like what to do next.
But he never molested you.
No, nothing went down. I think
Okay.
I did get like a $20 like or $10 Borders gift card or something.
Sweet. Fuck yeah.
But I never made my confirmation or anything. See, I think I don't know, man. I'm weird, man. I think like when I was young, like I really like I had kind of a crazy messed up childhood and about a bunch of stuff where it was kind of like the only thing we could ever do was like, Doc, you better fucking hope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you better, because like there was no like I don't know. So I think I just always had that like optimistic or like kind of like I know I'm gonna be good no matter what type of thing. That I think that sometimes it's kind of just out of you or out of whatever. Whether it's God or whether it's the universe or whatever. I do think that like, you know, it's crazy because I can now see the interlocking between my career or my craft / like my religion / like spiritual practices. I didn't know it at the time, but when I had started school at barber school, my instructor was big on the history of barbers. Biggest on the barbering is the oldest career out there. It's the oldest job out there, other than prostitution.
I was just gonna say, like, it's probably number
prostitution.
Yeah.
And it was other barbers or other like priests or men of like holy that would cut someone's it was a priest that would cut other priests' hair, or it was always a man of like spiritual power or like
Okay,
whatever
yeah.
that would cut others' hair because you weren't allowed to. What's the word? Like self-inflict. Like
Is that
whatever,
like a
you know?
Western thing, or when does that
To
like
be
track?
honest, I gotta look back into the history with some of that stuff. But
Yeah.
I just remember like being like man of God and spiritual.
Does that go back
powers
like thousands of years or like hundreds of years?
Again, you're checking me on stuff. That,
I'm just
like,
curious.
This is I took this in barber school like five.
That's super cool though that
7
your
years ago.
professor was like.
Yeah, he really stressed the history, and I really didn't understand like. And I'm sorry I don't have like
No, you're
all
fine.
the details and stuff, but there was I told you I was drinking a 40 at night.
Right,
So,
I get it.
A lot of it went but I mean, so I see like these things there where there was these kind of like spiritual or kind of religious like kind of like connections to the like this whatever, whether it hit me or dawned on me at the time, I don't know, but it might have sat with me
Sure.
up until the point where like I probably got, I wouldn't say got more religious, but started reading the Bible more just as a book, just to kind of like understand it, whatever. And because I've never been a big fan of church or anything too, like I don't, I'm just a very like don't follow the masses type of person. So like I think that's kind of huge with it. There's a lot of ideologies and stuff that I don't agree with the Catholic Church or any church, to be honest with you, out there. But I think that like with my own understanding of like the Bible, like the more I read it and stuff, like I don't really think that like, I don't mean to be like weird or like whatever, but I don't really think like Jesus would be in a religion. Like if it was today, I think he would look at all other religions weird. I think that it comes back down to like the community and the bond between like man to man or woman to woman and man to woman, whatever. So I think that like it's in a weird kind of way where I feel like my own career kind of relates with my own like just ideologies, where it's like you're just supposed to collaborate with people and talk to people, understand people.
Right.
Jesus didn't hang around with other the holiest,
Right.
He would hang out with prostitutes and prisoners, and I think that's like where like I don't like talking to other people that like think of God or the universe the same way as me, because like where's the fun in that? What am I learning? I think if you're just getting kind of brainwashed by something without doing your own thinking, I think that you have to understand different perspectives, talk to different people, because me and you, we're all part of the collective, and like I have to understand your point of view and you have to understand my point of view, and like we have to come together and like see that whatever it takes. Like, imagine if we all had like, they say four sets of or four eyes, whatever, better than two eyes, whatever. Well, like if you could take everyone's eyes and put them all like whatever
and add it up,
and I think that's like what matters more than just your own perspective of the world, and so much deeper than that.
I think you're right 100%. I mean, any dogmatic approach seems so fucking naive and silly to anything, like in a religion or politics. Like, what do you mean that's the only way?
Yeah, no,
like,
100%.
Who the fuck? Why edit or mute yourself? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Religion is unfortunately lousy with that for thousands of fucking years.
No, yeah, 100%.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Because like everything that church usually preaches, which is like community and like helping each other and lifting things up, is great, but just like the negative connotations, which is how fucked church has been.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think
terrible.
But I think that's also comes down to like individual responsibility. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to different churches. I'll hop around different church groups and stuff just to kind of like talk to just people and understand it. But like, I don't like.
You're not like a Baptist. You're not like a
there's
Mormon.
not like one set of whatever. Like I want to hear something. I want to challenge it. I want to like ponder it. I can't just like take something at face value and like that's what that it is. Like I hate saying deep thinker, but like I gotta sit on it. You know what I mean?
That's why humanity invented philosophy. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's why it's what we do. We question things best.
Exactly.
Why would we stop? It's like, why did Socrates even bother to die? Why did he drink the hemlock?
Yeah, right. And like, why was Play-Doh even invented? And like, who came up with these colors?
Fucking who knows, dude?
You know? And like, why, if you don't leave the cover on it, why does it get hard?
Yeah.
Why does it dry out?
I don't know, dude. Atmosphere.
And then you're just stuck
Mm-hmm.
with old dry Play-Doh. What do you do? How do you use that again?
You throw it away, dude. You fucking throw it away, unfortunately.
Got you.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I love philosophy. I wish I would have done more of it in college. Have you ever taken like you're well read, so you read pretty often. You're always reading. But philosophy was like my favorite course in college.
That was mine too.
You know?
I only took one philosophy course, but like I said, I hopped around so much. Like, what did I want to do in life? I don't think philosophy was ever like, oh, I got to take a bunch of philosophy classes so I can figure. But I was like,
maybe when I'm an old man and I got not a lot of time.
But even like before that, I remember in high school, like I would always love taking like mythology classes and stuff, which wasn't like, but I think just the concept of like gods or whatever, and like there's more than just like what me and you see. What me and you see is easy, but like what's going on, like this bigger whatever, like I don't know, I just think that's cool and stuff, and I think that like there has to be something else, and if not, whatever, we're all just making up our own conspiracies, but at least it makes life a little bit more fun, right? Like why would it just like, what's the joy of like being like, well, this is my life, there's nothing bigger, this is all meaningless? I mean, like even like bees in like a beehive, like they're all working toward a common goal. Who knows if bees are even aware that they're all working to serve the queen, or that they're all working together as a collective, like for something. Like bees might not even know. They might just wake up and like go to work because that's all they know. And like, that sounds dope. Like whatever. And like, good for you.
I'm a bee. I gotta make this honey.
I'm almost kind of jealous. Like, I could be like, just like wake up like, all right, like almost like robotic, like
you have a sole purpose.
Right. That's some Chat GPT shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think like you really kind of have to sit there and think about things even more to kind of like, I don't know, just add value to your actual own life.
I think so. I mean, what do they call it? The examined life. The examined life,
Yeah.
Which, most deep thinkers do or have. Plato's ass. But, yeah, I don't know. Socrates drank that hemlock, dude. He said, fuck it. Do you know why he was killed? Do you know why Socrates was killed?
I was not. No.
Socrates was.
It's been a minute. Like you got your master's degree.
I don't got that shit.
Yeah, I got my high school diploma and like my barber license. Man, that's all I got.
This is not anything like that. This is philosophy. You know,
my barber's history lessons that I can't even remember.
Well, I'll tell you now. You'll know forever. He died because he was put to death, for not recognizing the gods of the city and for corrupting the youth. He was sentenced to drink hemlock and kill himself.
What's hemlock?
Hemlock is
like hams.
It's basically if you drink enough hams, you'll drop dead.
For sure.
Yeah, so he could either have been exiled, and sent to the desert to wander, or he could kill himself, and he chose to kill himself.
Why do you think he chose that?
Because it's his final lesson. It's his final lesson to die for your convictions. If you feel something in your heart of hearts to be true and just, what is justice is another question, but true and just, then you should be willing to give your life for it. It was his final lesson. See, and that's why Plato wrote about it.
That's exciting. Like that's so cool.
Super exciting,
because like
right?
it's like not exciting. I'm not happy the guy was.
No, it's fucking glad
that, but like it's cool because like, I have to ask myself like, if I was placed in that, what would I have done? And I feel like I would have been like, chose the opposite of route of like whatever the fuck's gonna happen is gonna happen. So like I'm just whatever. I mean, maybe that's what he was kind of ultimately doing by like doing that to himself. But the fact that like he said that, like that drops knowledge on me, and that's bars.
That's why Plato wrote about his ass. Yeah,
bars.
He was in his 70s allegedly. In ancient Greece. So
for sure.
He was ready to die anyway.
Yeah. At that point, no, trust me, I work with some people, and I get how excited they
and we're talking a few thousand years ago.
Yeah.
He probably had no fucking teeth and shit.
No, 100%.
Probably very ugly. Yeah. There's a great painting of this moment called "The Death of Socrates" by Jacques-Louis David. Of him, there's the classic like pointing to the sky, the cup in his hand. Have you seen this one?
Yeah. Is that they do that in an episode of Arrested Development, right?
Do they?
Is that or the word?
The finger touch the god.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's this other one, but
that?
similar. Fucking who is it? Michelangelo.
Duh.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. The 16th chapel.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 16th.
The 16th chapel. All right.
Do you mind if we take a break?
No, we're good. Yeah.
Loads of content.
Loads of content. It's just fun. This is like one of the most fun ones I've done. We're just shooting the shit.
Oh, thanks.
Other ones with like, I haven't done many with like friends. So when I ask like a fucking professor or a doctor or someone, and when I have to like button it up to do a conversation, it's a very different experience than just like enjoying conversation. So,
I feel you. I feel you. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Charcoal chip.
Charcoal chip.
What can you tell me?
I saw you glance at your notes for that one. Yeah.
What can you tell me about Carbone?
Carbone. That was a nickname given to me at a pizza joint I used to work at by a good friend of mine, Martine.
It's just Little Caesars?
Like Little Caesars, but better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Baracos?
Baracos. Place called John Gino's in Hickory Hills. But Martine is like the head chef there. He's been the chef there for like Jesus Christ, 20-something years probably.
Wow.
And he would give everybody a nickname. My name is Charlie, so he called me Carbone, Pinche Carbone.
Carbon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pinche Carbone or Pinche Charcoal. Yeah, all the time.
Pinche Charcoal?
Yeah.
Why charcoal?
Because Charlie.
Charcoal chip.
Charlie translates to carbon, like, the element carbon. Okay. And then we work in a restaurant and there's carbon briquettes. And so that's charcoal. And so they just say charcoal. Like, I don't know how they delineate their nicknames. They were just ridiculous. There were stupid nicknames. Like Eddie. Eddie was Rayo and Centeo, which is like lightning and thunder. Like,
wait, who is this?
Eddie and Larry.
Oh, they both work there too?
Yeah. Their nicknames were Rayo and Centeo, which is lightning and thunder. Like, or
that's just cute.
No, Jake was Centea. What's Centea? Rayo is Eddie. What the fuck is lightning?
And that's what their names meant, or like this is like
no, this is just Martine, crazy ass Martine. Like,
how old is Martine?
Now he's probably in his late 50s.
All right.
When we first started working there, he's probably in his early 40s.
Everyone has their own vices. What vices does Martine have?
He drinks and he's got children.
Okay, cool.
But he works his ass
That's
off.
a huge vice. He's got children.
Yeah, great man, truly.
For sure.
But
I was just curious. I was trying to get a read. You know what I mean?
He's a first-generation Mexican immigrant and had a wife, divorced with children, has a new wife with children, he just is a fucking culinary genius.
Do you know what he's doing now?
He's probably still working at John Gino's, and he has another restaurant he works at.
I feel like you should interview him next.
I would like to. I love Martine.
Because, like, that's a whole different art.
Mm-hmm. We have a good rapport. We have a language barrier, but I've gotten better at Spanish. He's actually learned most of my Spanish, honestly, from him.
Wow, yeah.
But we have a good rapport, him and I, because we've known each other for so long now. And he has a really interesting story, like moved here in his 20s from Mexico to America, to Chicago of all places, and just had a go of it.
Whack.
Lived a whole ass life. Old people are he's not old, but older people, they're so wise, and it's so fun to talk to them,
No, I get you. Again, like I work with the 85-year-old barber who's been at the same place for 60 years, so I understand what it's like and the experience that they bring and how much knowledge and wisdom you can get. And it's like sometimes you kind of close your eyes and you realize that like you become them a little bit, and you're like, this is whack, because they were trying to tell me this when I was like then, and you know, so no, I get that.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. And man, what the hell was I saying? Old people.
Yeah.
Fucked.
So wrinkly. The balls on them.
The balls on them. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. What should young people know?
What should young people know? They should not know anything.
They don't know. They should know anything.
They shouldn't know anything. They should let their minds be as free as possible, because as soon as you get knowledge, that's the fall of mankind.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. Stay ignorant for as long as possible until life catches up to you and you know too much, and then it just spoils everything. So I think the future is the
preserve your childhood.
Yes, yes. Or at least just try to just don't grow up too fast. Try to not
It's
like
tough for kids
you know
nowadays.
What I mean? Oh yeah, man. They got Snapchat now.
Yeah.
You know, they got Ask Jeeves.
Ask fucking Jeeves.
They got MapQuest.
Seriously, this shit's fucked.
It's not. We're not heading to good places. Man.
When did you get your first cell phone? How old were you?
I think I was in college.
You were in college? Yeah, that's about right. So
Yeah,
you're like 20 or something?
I was like 18, I think.
Yeah.
No, you know, I had like a pay-as-you-go phone when I was in like 8th grade or something, but like you would run out of minutes with them. Like I got a burner phone when I was in like 8th grade.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yeah.
I don't think I had text messages until I think that's like what I think about like cell phone is like when I was able to like, because I think I had a pay-as-you-go phone before that, but I don't think I had like a cell phone until like I was like a freshman in college. Dude, we didn't have Wi-Fi until I was like a senior in high school. I remember like I remember being on my PSP, PlayStation Portable, trying to hijack my neighbor Chester, who was an 80-year-old guy who had Wi-Fi, who had a bush that was in front of the house that was trimmed to look like him in a hat. Yeah, bro, that's my neighbor.
What the fuck?
I'm out here hijacking his Wi-Fi, like out of my window, trying to stay close as possible. Yeah. I think even then, like, you know, you said earlier, like, you know, you have no social media, blah, blah, blah. But
you're still...
We never had social media, man. We had, like, it was... you know, there was a lot of people getting into it. I wanted to be into it, but, like, I was...
It's not intuitive. It's not an intuitive thing.
I would use it, like, once a month, and, like, that's kind of the rate I use my own now, and it's, like, I just don't, like...
No, I get it, but it's just unfortunately it's like rare these days.
It's crazy.
Like it is not a intuitive for me either. I didn't get a cell phone myself until I was about 18 when I could afford one.
For sure.
So I think we're the last generation of people ever in all of the world.
Yeah. Now it's like they're like 6 and your parents are like, when are we gonna have that P conversation?
Like I didn't get a smartphone. I didn't get a smartphone until I was like 25 or 26 probably.
Yeah, I think I had a Samsung Galaxy like 4 or something. I remember I was stoked because I had T-Mobile at the time, and T-Mobile didn't have iPhones.
Right.
And so I was like, we were like, you know, I was like, all right, cool, Samsung. And then I was like, wait a minute. One day T-Mobile was like, yo, we're cool. We should sell iPhones. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to buy an iPhone.
Yeah.
So that's when I had like, I can't really remember my pre-iPhone.
No, those days I had a Galaxy. It was
Did you have T-Mobile?
I have T-Mobile still.
Still?
Yeah.
I had to change, man. I don't get service where I'm at with the brick buildings and whatnot.
The fuck?
I'm telling you, I never had a problem with T-Mobile up until like I moved. Then it was like, if I was outside, I had service. If I was inside, nope. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but I was like 25 when I got a smartphone, but now children have them at like 4, 5.
Oh yeah, it's wild, man. It's funny because I have a sister that's about almost like 15 years younger than me, and like we grew up completely different. So it's just weird to see like the normal stuff like for her.
Does she have a cell phone?
Yeah, I can't tell you exactly what age she got a cell phone at, but you want to say she had gotten one like maybe middle school, like maybe
10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, maybe around there or something. I don't know, but I mean like it's just different times, man.
People are cyborgs for real. Like 100%. This thing lives in our pocket, but I mean it's anything you fucking want to know in all the world.
I can't stand when I get on my phone and I plug it in my car and it's like, yo, dog, you're 20 minutes from
I hate that
your
shit.
friend's house that you're about to go. And you're like, stop reading my mind.
I know. Get out of my fucking life.
Yeah. So then like I'll just like start going like random places to throw it off, you know, to be like, you don't know me?
Yeah.
You don't know me?
I hate that, dude.
That freaks me out, man. I don't like that.
No, so you wouldn't fuck with Neuralink then?
Who?
Neuralink. You know about Neuralink?
Nah.
The implant they want to do. Elon Musk is developing. He's developing Neuralink. It's an implant for your brain that will potentially allow you to communicate without speaking and like be linked together, much how this is. But
we already are doing
instead
that,
of like here, like
but
as
we're doing that through like subconscious, like
not an extremity,
body fluids or body fluids,
in
body
here.
movements. No,
I mean, there's telekinetics and things.
well, I just mean like I don't know. I feel like that's just like not like. See, you have to understand that I'm a late adopter, so like that's gonna be cool for all.
Are you into it? Or do you like that idea?
I don't know, man. That's just too much. I feel like then it's like you got something in your head that like any second they could just be like, yeah,
No thanks.
you're gonna tell me that you'll get a Taco Bell right now.
Yeah. I'm not into it either. I think it's a bad idea.
That's just a little too much, man.
No, I don't like it. Have you seen the movie Gattaca?
I mean, then again, just use media, bro. Like every other company, and just implant the brains that way. You know,
Basically,
use social media. You know, use like whatever to implant people's brains, not just like.
No, they're gonna fucking drill into your
yeah.
hardware, bro.
That's crazy. People were scared of the dentist. Like now, people are gonna be scared of like their neurological doctor, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. Yeah, I don't fuck with that shit though. That's scary as fuck.
Nah, man, that's Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Have you read in and looked into ChatGPT and all that? Have you heard about it at all?
No, I got people that like clients and whatnot that I like to bullshit with and ask them about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cool because like some people are like just really weird about it. Some people like really here for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've known people that like have used it to use to plan out their whole vacations.
Interesting.
Really? Right? Because it's like, I don't know. I feel like
I fucking hate that.
why don't
Actually,
you just like
you know
pick
what?
your own vacation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, how you gonna have? But I don't know. Like, you have to also understand. Like, me and you are saying that from like, if you wanted to go somewhere and you had to plan it and like whatever, you would just do it. This is coming from like a guy with like 3 kids and his wife, where like they might have a couple hours at like an hour a day. So like I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Trust me, I'm on your side. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that. I feel like I'm at least creative enough to know like, yo kids, pack your bags. We're going to Milwaukee, or you know what I mean? Like I don't
We're
know.
going camping.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
why can't you just come with that in your own terms? But like, I'm gonna give him a pass, you know. But
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I will say is like I don't know if it's really gonna help humanity or make it its downfall. I can see pros and cons. Probably more cons, but that's because like I'm just very not trustworthy in the begin with. So
I would
like,
say mostly cons.
yeah. No, 100%. But I'm trying to be optimistic. You know, I feel like the new age is here. It's gonna be weird because I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like what we're experiencing now is like just 2000s 20 years later type of thing. Like could you like you remember I hear this thing about people like talking about like the Snapchat bot where like Snapchat's got its own
You
AI.
fuck with a Snapchat bot ever?
I don't even have Snapchat.
Okay. Sometimes I go on there and I fuck with it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, but what does that remind you of?
AIM.
AIM.
Yeah.
So like we're literally doing the exact same thing again from the 2000s.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Again 20 years later. So
Yeah.
like I really do think this is like 2.0, or like at least like people like pointing out like we're literally in like I don't know, just
cycling that
just
again.
cycling again.
Yeah.
We're already remaking movies. We're remaking video games. Why not just remake the same technology and like
Yeah.
produce it as something else?
Right.
Like,
Well, I
yeah,
guess
sure. This is AI, and it's just like
Yeah.
AIM, Smart Child
Fucking-
666 or whatever it
Yes,
was.
yes.
Like that's literally what AI is. So it's like, or either that, or we've had this technology since then, but we've been slowly waiting to like
Release it
unleash its
all.
like full potential. Like now, like don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. I don't want to die.
No, you're probably 100%
Are they
accurate.
listening to me?
They're fucking hearing you loud and clear.
Jeez.
But I don't know. It scares. It's sort of scary to me though. Like
For sure, but I mean, honestly, what are you gonna do to stop it?
I can do.
So,
Well,
like,
yeah, no, I can do
At
nothing.
this point, you just gotta like
Someone should heed the
train
warning.
to fight a robot. You know, I think we
right.
should all be going to school with how to dissect computers, so we
Yes.
can just like assassinate
Just in case.
any robot that comes our way
The military should be
real
working
fast.
on that.
Yeah. Are they really?
No, they should be though.
Oh yeah, 100%. They should be. I was like, dude, that's crazy.
No.
That's gonna be like in 10 more years. It's gonna be like.
I bet you
gonna
there's
have-
some eccentric general who's like, we got to be fucking trained.
That's
for
going
this
to be
now.
the next craft, man. I'm telling you, because like I feel like the next like round of like the new trade is coding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coding is a thing that you can learn, like
boot camps and whatever.
Boot camps, like without a college degree, it's basically trade school, but
Yeah.
like 2.0 basically. And they're just wait. They're gonna have those coders, but they're gonna be doing the same thing, except for like
Programming murder machines.
Well, I meant like opposite, like saving. Like
Oh,
you'll have like coder police,
Oh,
like
yeah.
or coder like fire department, or coder like
Like a public service.
coder basically,
Yeah.
where it's like his only job is going to be out there to like
Correct code.
correct codes to
Yeah.
like dumb an AI down, or it's like an AI is going to be
Yeah.
on like, wait a minute, I'm about to just kill every human I see in that Google's St. Louis, and
Yeah, he's like a
then this like coder comes in and saves the day. Like I think that's going to be the next like
frontline coder.
right now, like everyone's using it for like to make money and stuff. But I think after a while, you're going to need a coder to actually like.
I'm sure there's
keep
already
up
a
with
version
these
of that.
things and like make sure that like an AI doesn't go nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that me and you are like not scripted, but like our conversation are recorded off our iPhone, but like
Oh, they're listening right now.
right, but like
NSA's all over this.
yeah, you don't think anyone's like the NSA's got to like have hella tabs on
Yeah.
Chat GPT, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a bunch of people like ready on like.
Do you think it's
guard.
edited? Well, that's sort of like an ethical question then too. Do you think that
Freedom of speech for ChatGPT? Can ChatGPT say what he's really feeling?
Well, I mean, who gets information? Why do they get it? Who deserves it? Who should get it? Who doesn't get it? I don't know.
Which is why, if I go back, the best advice I give to young people is don't learn anything.
Don't be fucking ignorant. Just be ignorant.
is bliss, man. Be
Yeah.
oblivion. Be oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
Take everything as it comes.
Just day by day.
Yeah.
You don't live that way at all.
There's a little bit of a plan, but
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I try to be flexible. That's what I try. That's what I try to do.
Be like water.
Yeah, be like water. You know, some Bruce Lee that shit. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I seen The Crow.
I seen the fucking crow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The crows. What is your favorite movie, by the way?
It's a mixture of a couple.
Let's
I
hear
always
it.
really loved The Gremlins when I was younger.
Gremlins. Okay.
Yeah.
The
I don't know
Gremlins.
why. I just really like. I'm a big horror movie guy. I like weird whatever
Gremlins are
movies.
good.
I like The Gremlins. I like my other favorite movie. It's weird, but it's a Tom Hanks movie. I
Big?
think. No.
Which one?
You ever see a movie called That Thing You Do?
No, but I've heard of it.
So it's Tom Hanks, Steve Zahn, Liv Taylor.
What's the plot?
They're like a band in like the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And they're like up and coming. They start from the garage band, but like they kind of become like the Beatles, you know, and like Tom Hanks is the manager and like, I don't know. It's like all this stuff, but I think like the soundtrack, like I just have like so many like little like moments as a kid watching that movie over and over with like my grandparents and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it was all just about production and like marketing and like making
Yeah.
money. So like, yeah, and the soundtrack was just fucking boom,
Banger.
dynamite.
Yeah.
Banger after banger.
Shit,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
What's the third? Is there a third?
Is there a third?
Like a combination, you said?
No, not really.
No.
Not nothing that comes to my top of my head. Every time I think about like favorite movies, it's usually those two. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you my favorite TV show is probably Twilight Zone.
The new one?
The one with what's his name? Had produced those.
Hitchcock again?
No. Did Hitchcock?
Was he Twilight or was he?
No, he was Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh,
Presents.
Twilight Zone
yeah.
was yeah.
That was its own thing. I can't remember the host name, to be honest with you. I'm not like
Twilight
getting into
Zone's
like that,
fucked.
but Twilight Zone's dope because it's like you just dope it, like dive in, right?
They
You
should
got, like-
make that. They should remake that.
Well, they did.
They did?
What's his name remade
But
it?
now with like good effects and stuff?
Yeah, the guy from
Recently? Seriously?
yeah, dude, it was on like WGN or whatever. It was who's the guy that did Get Out and
Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Yeah.
Jordan Peele, dude. He
Yeah.
brought it back. I think it lasted like a season, maybe 2 seasons. And then I think like either COVID happened or it
Oh, I didn't know
get
that.
the whatever. Yeah, they didn't do that good,
Mm-hmm.
but just because like I think it's really hard to replicate Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was 20-minute episodes of black and
Right.
white stuff that
Right.
was like aged very well, and it was like you got the story, and that was it. There was no explanation. There was no whatever. You just like you had 20 minutes of pure entertainment that like just left you kind of like and then they took it and made it into like an hour-long episode in color, adding like all this character development. All this, it was like you did everything the show wasn't. You know what I mean? Like they just had like pure like story after story and like So, and I don't think they needed visuals to do that.
They didn't. It was just like, well, it was a radio show originally, right?
I don't.
I think it was.
That. I don't even know that.
That's what I used to listen to when I was a kid, and I'd go to bed. I would listen to fucking Twilight Zone radio and shit.
That's fire, dude.
Yeah, it's fucked up. All right, Alex. Do you really want young people to just be naive? Fuck them. Be dumb. Fuck it and be dumb.
I mean, I think just
no,
like...
I'm kidding.
Don't do that. Come on now. You're just going to be smart at least. Like, at least think a little bit of your future. I guess but then I guess you have to think some, you know. Advice to young people. Love everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I think it's harder. I think it's easier at a young age to forgive. So the rest of your life, when you have a lot of hatred and negative kind of thrown at you, the sooner you learn to forgive, the farther you'll get in the world by just forgiving and accepting life a day at a time. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be after you. There's going to be a lot of people that want to pull you down. And the sooner you can just stop concentrating on that hate and keep doing you and keep ascending, I think will help you a long way, because hatred and negativity is only going to pull you back just like shellfish in a bucket. And I think learn how to forgive. Learn how to love your fellow human being. Learn how to love yourself. And yeah, I'm going to say that for young people.
Perfect.
I love you, Charlie.
I love you too, man. Thank you.
I have one more question for you.
Okay, what's up?
I just want your comment on this next phrase. This is my final phrase.
Okay.
This is what I'm going to end with. All right.
Let's hear it. I'd love to.
Right now, would you say that you are pissed drunk, sitting on a rock, waiting or watching them snakes go by?
Not quite, but that's a funny thing. That's some bullshit that that's funny. That goes way back.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat what it was?
I think you said, I'm just pissed drunk sitting on a rock watching them snakes roll by.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Let me double check my post. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's just some bullshit. I think I've always been like a talk shit kind of person, because I've always had banter like that, even from a young man. That's something Dylan and I made up, just walking around one day, kids in high school, just like, I don't know, why the fuck does a high school kid say that? Like, just speculating about some scenario, some situation, fictitious Southern character, you know?
for sure.
Like role playing that. Just working out on conversation. That's still one of my favorite things to do. I don't know. Do you do that? Do you just like
get pissed drunk and watch snakes go by?
No, just like in conversation, adopt a fictitious scenario and just roll with it, run with it, and just keep adding to it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Fake accents or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe not the whole like fake accents and shit, but I think just like building up on like you're building this like stereotype or whatever that you're saying in your head, and like you're just building it up on that a little bit. So you're like, you associate yourself with like that individual or like that kind of like whatever, and you're just like
if I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm too long, I fucking start acting like Larry David.
Yeah.
I'm in society like just appalled by things.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree. No, I'll do that a lot. Yeah. We just kind of like play up on a little bit, you know?
Yeah. That was something Dylan and I used to do all the time, though, just walking around, just fucking around, making up. There's this stupid book. Speaking of poetry, there's this book I got, not poetry, like a joke book. It's called How to Speak Southern. And it's just a stupid-ass book full of, like, Southern one-liners.
And that guy was definitely 100% just like making fun of Southerners.
He's probably from Iowa.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Montana.
He's from fucking Cali, Oregon, Arizona.
somewhere not south.
Yeah. Because that's what he's recognizing, you know, as a Southern thing.
You have to be, the stereotypes are often funny. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
Stereotypes are often very funny.
They're good.
That's why they exist.
Yeah. And it's no hate, no love.
No hate. There's probably some... anything you can accuse me of is probably true.
Right,
so,
exactly. Same here, man.
like, whatever.
Right. Amen.
Yeah. But, okay. Alex, should we land this plane?
No, let's crash it.
Crash it. Let's burn it. Let's fucking
Burn
spray
it to
paint a
the
cop car.
ground. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you so much, man. This is a great time hanging out and chatting.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do this again. But is there? How do people find you? Where do they go? What do they do? What should they do?
I'm really not on much. I mean, if you really want, my personal phone number is 708
Don't take.
128. Hit me up for a haircut.
Text him now.
You can text me. You can call me. If not, you can see my. Sometimes I'll post on Instagram, which is at Alex Flowar, AlexFlowar. Thanks, y'all.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Alex.
Appreciate it.
Hell yes.